Good morning. My name is Paul Church from Clarity Craft here in the UK.
And my name is Louise Paul from Clarity Crafts in the UK as well.
Welcome to another episode of Clarity Social TV. We'll do our usual little bit of waffling while our friends find us. There we go. Got some eyes in the room already. Lovely Jane Telford will be in the room with you this morning. So if you have any questions, she's there to help. If there's anything she's unsure about, then she will feed that through to me and we will answer that for you. I'm going to move that mouse because it's on the end session. It's lethal. We've got so much stuff on the table to share with you. It's a beautiful collection. I'm not going to go into too much detail until some more friends join us. But many of you have already found it on the website. It went live yesterday evening. It was about 5:30. Barb mentioned it in the shack last night. Did you see the shack last night?
I saw a little bit.
I always watch it back the following morning. And Barb's pottery.
Oh, I know. It's
absolutely
amazing. The turquoise.
And people say, could we pre-order? Could we pre-order? I think at this rate, if Barb was doing pre-orders, that she wouldn't have anything to take.
It's a growing demand, isn't it?
It really is.
They're
and
beautiful.
I think, as Barb said last night, they're all one-off pieces, aren't they? You'll never get the same. I suppose it's like working, as Barb said, when you're working with a gel press, you'll never get the same. There we go. All clear from Jane. Good morning, Jane. The sound is all good. Thank you very much.
It's amazing how many hours of not just doing the pottery, but also learning and learning from. Because Barbara goes to different
any craft, isn't it?
Goes to different lessons and just learns as much as possible, like we do with our parchment. It's always
just
a
another
learning
form
process.
of crafting, isn't it? And then trying things. If you've got the facilities or the ability to be able to try it, see what happens. And as Barb said, when she's working, like when she's doing a stamping project, one for test, one for best.
Yes.
And therefore, what it does is it takes away that pressure that you've got to get the one piece of artwork that you're working on absolutely perfect.
Yeah, and I think that's when we were talking about small mini makes as well. Another reason to, if it's a little piece, you haven't got to worry about, having the...
Gone a little bit too heavy here, or you've made a little mistake there. I mean, that's what butterflies are for, aren't
they? That's why we will love our butterfly plates.
We do indeed. So we have lots to share with you today. We'll be back with you again at 2:00. So maybe you're only tuning in this morning and think, lots and lots and lots to talk to you about. Okay, so first off, before we get started, I just wanted to bring to your attention, over the Easter bank holiday weekend, we ran a fantastic promotion on our fresh cut dies.
We did.
Where the vast majority of our fresh cut dies over the Easter bank holiday weekend were just £3.
It went crazy.
It really, really did. And some of the dies were worth £24.99, some of them £19.99, 40, etc., but they were £3.
£3.
Now, what we've decided, because I know there was a few people, not a few, there were people on holiday over the Easter weekend, so they missed out. So we decided, because it's another bank holiday, and we would run that promotion, which kicked off at midnight last night, and it will run again until midnight on Tuesday evening. So maybe you were sort of humming and hawing on a couple of designs. You thought, no, I don't need any more. That offer is currently in place. And I'll just give you the details on the overhead. So there we go. So we have our selected fresh cut dies. They're just £3 each. There's no club discounts on there. And it really is backed by popular demand. Because, as I say, we had a few inquiries that people missed out on it because they were away.
Yes.
So obviously, Easter bank holiday, it was a long bank holiday, wasn't it?
It was.
So many people took advantage of that and being away. Now, during the course of this hour, Louise is going to be demonstrating a brand new collection. And she will be using a fresh cut die. Okay, so you may want to, we'll bring some details up in a moment, but I just wanted to bring that to your attention first. Now, if you're tuning in for the first time and you're thinking, well, how do we go about ordering? There's several different ways in which you can order. You can order via our website, which is claritycrafts.com. You can give the office a call. We are open Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. Obviously closed bank holiday Monday anyway, because it's bank holiday. And the telephone number for that is 01732 868 215. And the lovely Sue will be there to help you if you've got any questions. And if I just bring the details up of one item, just to give you some information. So I'm not going to be naughty. I'm going to bring up the details of the brand new Groovi collection. So you see that there is a 5-digit number at the top, which is 42482. That's the item number you either need to quote over the telephone, or you can put that into the search engine on our website, and that will bring you the details. Also on our website, we have our Clarity TV button that lists everything that we're sharing with you during this hour and the 2 o'clock show.
Yeah.
It gives you an image of the product together with the details. So this is the occasion sentiments and panels A4 and A5 square Groovi plate duo. Now this is showing that it has an RRP of £34.98. You have a £5 saving because it's brand new, bringing it down to £29.98. Now, if you belong to any of our clubs, you could be a club member, a gold or a diamond club member. You will get either your 10, 12.5 or 15% discount off of that as well. So for example, if you like the look of this collection we've launched this morning and you're a diamond club member, that would bring it down to £25.48, which basically the A4 plate is £24.99.
Yes.
So you're near enough getting the panels plate,
A5 plate for free.
Obviously, we offer free UK shipping on all orders over £35. So that's where you may want to pop a couple of dies in, or maybe you just want to top up on your parchment or some of the other items that Louise is sharing with us today. Maybe you need another tool holder or 3 or 4. Poor Barb and Dave, they just can't make them quick enough. They really
Little
can't.
Conveyor belt at home.
Absolutely. So let's bring the details up. I'm going to bring up the details of this brand new collection. For our stampers out there, you may recognize these. These were designed by the lovely Jazz. So you've got your A5 square plate at the top, and this gives you panels in various different designs, which we will look at in more detail on the overhead shortly. You've then got a large A4 plate, and this has 6 different occasions on them. You've got Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Congratulations, Thank You, Happy Anniversary, and Get Well Soon. Now, each of those occasions come to you in 5 different fonts, and then you've got various different add-ons as well. So if we have a look at this on the overhead, I'm going to go from there, and I'm going to go to there. There we go. We can have a look at these. I'm going to hand over, oh, wrong button, hang on, that one.
There we
go. I'm going to get Louise to talk us through this.
Yeah, so like you said, we've got 6 different occasions, 5 different fonts in each, but then the good thing about this plate is that you've got all of the extra little bits and pieces that go along with it. So, and you can really mix and match with these as well, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. Should we go in a little bit closer and look at one of them one at a time?
Yes.
I reckon we can do that. You just need to rejig. There we go. So when you look at Merry Christmas.
So we've got Merry Christmas, but then underneath, after the 5 different fonts, you've got lots of different sentiments as well. So these would be good for the inside of your cards as well as your outside, the front of your cards.
Yeah.
So you could really make, have a little PTC size and have Merry Christmas, may your Christmas be merry and bright. But then you also have From Our House to Yours, Merry Christmas, and then a Happy New Year. And the really lovely thing about this is these are all in different fonts as well. So if you just had Merry Christmas and then in a different really lovely script and Happy New Year, and it looks really effective together having different fonts together.
And that's what we've done on the pinky grey stickers. You've got those 2 different fonts.
Yeah, so it's really tying that in together. And then you have season's greetings and good wishes for the new year. So you've really got a big selection of different fonts, but also, you have all of the extra bits as well.
On there. Yeah. So we've got happy birthday.
So yeah, happy birthday. So again, all your 5 different fonts. Then you have wishing you health and happiness. Hope you have the best day. Sending you love and hugs, and you deserve the world and more.
Nice.
So really lovely. And again, some really lovely fonts. I love those fonts. I'm going to be using this a lot, I think.
I think this is a new sort of go-to essential, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So then we have congratulations. Again, your 5 different fonts, and then you did it. You're amazing. So proud of you on your special day, and you're absolutely incredible.
So you could have congratulations, happy birthday.
Yes.
Couldn't you? So you can really mix those up as well.
Yeah, happy birthday, you're absolutely incredible. Or down here you have happy anniversary to my best friend and soulmate. Then you could come up here and say you're absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Or you're amazing. So you can really...
There's hours of fun on this, isn't there?
There is, really is. Then you've got the thank you. So this is good for all your little thank you cards, that you send out. Because again, 5 different fonts, and then thank you for being you, or thank you so much. Where would I be without you? And again, that's like happy anniversary. Where would I be without you?
Yeah.
And thank you for being a great friend. And then thank you for everything you do. So there are really a lot of uses out of this.
Definitely.
Then we've got happy anniversary. So your 5 different fonts, and then to my best friend and soulmate. So that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
My best friend and soulmate. To my daughter and son-in-law. So you can really mix and match.
So you can have happy birthday to my daughter, happy birthday to my son, my son-in-law, my daughter-in-law.
Exactly.
Merry Christmas to my daughter and son-in-law, or son and daughter-in-law.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
So then you've got happy anniversary to the most amazing couple. You're absolutely incredible.
You like that one, don't you?
And then wishing you many more years of happiness. That's nice.
Nice.
And then get well soon. Get well soon. Relax, rest and recover. See, that's nice just on its own, isn't it?
Yeah.
Relax, rest and recover. Sending you lots of love. Again, that can be used for all of them, really. Merry Christmas, sending you lots of love. Happy birthday, sending you lots of love. Again,
happy anniversary, sending you lots of love. Yeah.
And then hope you make a speedy recovery. I like that font.
Yeah, that's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. And then hugs and kisses and get well wishes.
That's nice. But you can just have hugs. You can just have kisses. You can have hugs and kisses. Yeah. And so that's all on the one plate.
It is.
And if you want the plates individually, we also have that available on its own. But as I say, $24.99, item number 42440. That's the Occasion Sentiments A4 Groovi plate. But if you're a Diamond Club member and you go for that complete collection, which is item number 42482, then you're near enough getting the panels plate for free.
Yes.
So if we bring that panels one in, not for free, for one there, so you can see here, there's so many different panels.
There are, and it's really, these are different widths, so would be perfect for all of your different, the lengths of the fonts.
Oh, the height, yes.
Yeah, so, but all of these around the outside, you can use them with the panels, without the panels. I mean, this is a really lovely little grid design in here.
Yeah.
You could use that in any of your projects. Again, with any of the outside areas, you can use in any project. But then you have, these are perfect because you can make them smaller, larger, longer. You can make them into a box if you wanted to, which is what we're going to be doing this afternoon.
Yeah.
But so for this hour, I'm going to be making them just smaller so that we know how we can make them smaller, how we can make them larger.
Okay.
So yeah, really useful.
So that's it, the panels plate. Again, that is available individually if you want that. The item number for that is 42478. Should we have a look at some artwork?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's have a go. So what we'll do, we'll slide this in like so. So this one is from Jill Askham.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
So, and then you can see there you've got thank you for everything. So when, and now you've noticed that down there.
Where would I be without you?
Yeah. Really, really nice, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Then we've got one from Carol Paxtello.
The pink and the craft card looks really lovely together.
It does, doesn't it? So Carol's just used the different panels, doesn't she, on that?
Yeah, with
like
the little heart design.
And I love this in the background.
Yes, I didn't spot that, but yeah. You see all these different things. We were looking at the artwork a little bit, weren't we, before we started? But you notice something new on everyone. But yeah, that's really lovely as a background, isn't it?
Yeah. Then we've got this one. Oh, this one's from the lovely Louise.
Ah, That's nice.
So what have
Yay.
you? So you've used the little sentiments, sending you lots of love.
I have, yes, hugs and kisses and get well wishes,
So
and
coming out a
then
little bit, I reckon it'll be that one. There we
that's
go.
it, yeah, and then sending you lots of love down there. I thought that was really nice in a little border.
Yeah.
Great fun with that
So
one.
we've got this one from Glynis. So
Oh,
Glynis
wow.
has used the panels together with the sentiment and some of the Tina's embroidery parchlets.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, isn't it? It looks really lovely with the different fonts together.
Yeah.
Really effective.
Karen Jackson, so in Christmas mode there with Tina's little angels.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Really nice.
Good
And
design.
see, I like this one because this for me is
You've
pattern
pointed
building.
that out a couple of
And
times,
look,
haven't you?
just using the word congratulations.
With the just the little panel and then having a little bit of design
And this
around
is
it.
one of Louise's favourites, Josie Davidson.
Yeah, I think that's so clever, using the happy anniversary as a background.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
And then we can go into Christmas mode again. So this one
yes.
from Josie. So that's some of the artwork
Really
there.
nice.
Let me just, whoops, move that mouse out of the way. And then there we go. So we'll take that whole pile. If you slide to your right, there we go. That is from Jill Askham.
Wonderful.
On that piece there.
It's using one of the easy layouts, isn't it? But then we've got the banners and all of the different
occasions, different sentiments on there as well.
As many as possible, hasn't she? She's got the scallop, and you've got the line one, and then you've got the
little dotty one, and then she's come down the side on there.
Really nice.
Then I like this one as well. Another one from Jill.
It's pretty, isn't it? Yeah.
So just using those the frames just to put the backdrop again. Definitely.
We have a very clever design team, don't we?
We do. Carol Pankstello.
Beautiful, yeah.
I like that. And just making a little feature of the hearts on there.
But then again in the background with a little bit of glitter.
Now this one's cool. This is from lovely Glynis.
Yes.
So Glynis has used our pre-printed parchment poppets.
Which is really good because it kind of ties in really nicely together, doesn't it?
I really like that.
And then you've got our scallop with the nested scallop. So that really, you've got the smaller
and
scallop.
Some multi-needle tools in there. Is that the flower or the five?
That's the flower tool, yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got this one. Lovely Jane. Look at that.
Oh, that's nice. Just using all of the panels, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a bit of grid design in there.
Nice. Then we've got this one. Which I'm trying to work out which way this goes. It goes that way. So this one is Carol Baker. Look at those, just using.
Yeah, perfect pico cutting too.
Yeah. Another one from Carol Baker. I like this going round the shape as well.
Hexagon and with just a happy birthday with Tina's henna, isn't it? That one.
Yeah.
Really nice with the design paper.
Karen Jackson.
Very nice. Yeah. Using our little dies in there as well.
Yeah. Which
ties in together, doesn't it?
Another one from Karen Jackson.
It's
like a little ribbon wrap, isn't it?
That's lovely. A little Google eyes.
Excuse me. Julie Campbell.
Very spring-like, isn't it?
Yeah. Nice. Josie Davidson.
Wow.
This is nice. And then another one from Carol Baker. So you can see where these panels really tie in beautifully with all these different occasions and the sentiments. And when this is literally just the tip of the iceberg, because when you get the plate home and you start taking this one from here and that one from there,
definitely,
it really, really is. So Louise is going to be doing a demonstration for us today, and she's going to be doing. Should we have a look at what you're going to do? If I take those from you, thank you very much. Okay. Now we do have the demo download available as well. What Louise is going to share with us. So on our website, if you go to the Catch Up and Craft, you'll be able to download. Let me bring this over on that camera. I wonder if we can get that on camera for. There we go. So we have. Hang on. Let me do that. So this is the demo download. So it was done at 10 a.m. on the 2nd of May today. It's called a thank you tag. This is what's been Louise is going to make. And then underneath, you have a list of the ingredients that Louise has used to create this. So this is using a combination of the New Occasions collection, Tina's Rosy Doodle all-in-ones. But what I really wanted to share with you is the tag. Okay. Now, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, the tag die is actually in the sale. So this plate on its own, it's an A5 plate, is £13.75. So the die is £3, bringing the price down to £16.75. So it means you're going to save £16.23. Now, if you're a club member, you'll also get your discount on that as well. I allowed the discount to go on this because it was a combination.
Yes.
So obviously, if you've already got the Groovi plate or you just want to get the tag die on its own, you can do that. And the item number for the tag die is 30858. Okay, so I'm going to pass it back over to Louise. I'm going to leave those details on the side of the screen. Where is it? And it was that one there. There we go.
Oh, perfect. Yes, so I decided to use a die as one of the projects because last week I was picking all of the die sale orders and the amount of people that bought the tags, there was a lot of tags. So I thought, well, seeing as everybody's buying them,
Yeah.
let me show you, what you can do with them.
Because maybe some of our friends at home didn't realise that there is a Groovi plate that goes with it.
No, exactly.
And if you want the Groovi plate on its own, the item number for that is 41465. I'm sure Jane's popping the link up to the show page where everything's in there, so you can just click that and then have a look at that a little bit later. But yeah, we occasionally do dies to work with Groovi plates or Groovi plates to work with the dies.
Yeah.
And we did it with two of the tags. I can't remember which other tag it is. I think it might be the luggage tag. There's a Groovi plate to go with that as well. But this is perfect for that, isn't it, Louise? And I know,
yes.
lovely Glynis, this is her sort of go-to because it's a lovely size for a mini make, really, isn't it?
Yes, it is a perfect little mini make. And also they could be very useful. For example, if you make a few of them up, you can use them for birthday, Christmas, then they look really lovely on a little present.
And it could be a topper on the cards as well, can't
it could be a topper, yeah. So in the Groovi plate, as you can see here, you haven't just got the large size, you've got 4 different sizes.
Yeah.
So perfect for, if you wanted to do a little window, for example, and do some little flowers inside of the window, because it's a really lovely art shape.
And if you've got the die to go with it, you can also turn the die into a card blank as well.
Yes.
So you can have your shaped cards.
Or an aperture.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so that's what we're aiming for today. So I thought I'd make them a little bit smaller for this one.
Of course, yeah, because it's a lot smaller, isn't it? If we have a look at the plate itself, I've just put that, you'll see that the panels go the full width when it sharpens up. Probably too much black on there. Yeah. It's the full width of the Groovi plate, those panels, and you've made it shorter.
Yeah, so just trying to put a few different details in, and obviously we're using it with Teed and Still Do It all in one plate.
We are indeed, the Rosy Doodles, which we also have on the show as well. So the item number for that collection is 42477. I'm going to have a look at this collection in more detail during the 2 o'clock show, but I thought we'd really sort of concentrate on not only that special offer on the dies with the Groovi plate. Whoops, not that one. I've got them in front of me, but it was being hidden. So you've got that collection there, which is 20100, 1675. So you've got 60. It's near enough half price, isn't it?
It is.
And then Louise is going to be using the brand new Occasion Sentiments and Panels A4 and A5 square Groovi plate duo.
Wonderful.
Okay, so where do we start?
So I'm going to start with the Occasions plate. This one.
Okay, with the panels.
Yes.
Super.
So I thought for time, I have created the lines.
Yeah.
So I used the Groovi plate and I've done the lines and I've already die cutted it out. So
okay.
Time. Okay, so I thought what we'll do is we'll start with the small panel at the bottom first.
And so we can obviously see from the die cut that the panel's definitely bigger than the die cut.
So so I'm just going to position it first. So where I want on the left side.
Yeah.
And I'm going to bring in my Groovi sticker tabs that are nice and firmly placed on my tool caddy. Very useful. Has many uses. Just lining that up. So I'm just going to use Groovi stickers.
Okay, so Jane has just let me know that the other die and plaque combination, die and Groovi plate combination is the Edwardian plaque. So you may want to have a look at that one on the website.
Oh yes, they're nice as well, because you can put little ribbons on either side of them and make a little banner around the middle of the card. Right, so I'm going to bring in my Groovi guard. So we're just going to
zoom in a little.
Oh yeah. Lovely. Okay. So I'm just going to do a scallop around the outside. So I'm just using the number 2 tool to begin with.
Yeah.
I like me a scallop.
It's nice when you get that continuous, it's like a bounce, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And so I suppose because it's Groovi, you do have that versatility of being able to extend, shorten. I mean, with a stamp, it's a little bit more difficult to sort of mask off and reposition.
It is, yeah.
So.
Okay, I'm just coming in with my bottom of the scallop.
Yeah.
There's a hint of green in my tag as well. Oh.
You need to get yourself some new Groovi tabs, Louise.
I think it might be the warmth. Oh dear. Hold on. Let me reposition it. It's gone a bit. Might need to start again, actually. I've got another one. Sorry.
Best laid plans.
I know.
So it is always a good, I mean, when you're wiping your parchment, it's best to wipe your parchment away from your Groovi plates, because what can happen, the slick from the tumble dry sheet can transfer onto your Groovi plate, and therefore it can stop it sticking, which can allow the parchment to move, which Louise has very kindly just shared with us and demonstrated that. But if you find that you have got too much slick on your Groovi plate, then just take a sort of a tissue. I would say a tissue. You could take a damp tissue and just, I wouldn't take a sopping wet cloth and wipe it, but just a damp cloth or a damp tissue and just wipe your Groovi plate and then dry it off. And that'll take any residue of the tumble dry sheet. Now, Louise has gone in for overkill on her Groovi tabs now, so that it really does not move. She's got like 6 in place there.
I have. Right. Let's start again. Okay, that's better. It's firmly stuck.
If that moves now, I think if there was an earthquake, that would not move.
You will not move and you're going to behave yourself.
Absolutely.
There we go.
So then it's remembering not to go all the way along, isn't it? That you're sort of stopping not quite away, but a couple of scallops away from the right hand part of the die cut.
Yes, then I can align it and make it nice. So you can use the number 2 and then you can go in and use the number 1 as well to tighten up the... I always like to use the number 2 first.
Okay. There we go. So we can do that, and then we can, I'm guessing, do we slide it along, or?
We do, yes. So if I just take it up there, and then I'm just going to line it up. So say, for example, we want it about there.
Yeah. And it just slots into place, doesn't it?
It does. And you can just make sure that the white line is all the way along. So then you know that it's not wonky at all.
Yeah. So all of a sudden now, I mean, it needs to make lovely little, like for the letterbox alphabet. If you wanted to, I'm sure you could probably take like that scallop around the letterbox that's on the plate, mate.
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
And do different things with it. And some of the artwork that we've seen from the design team, you can see how they've just used them as strips, as panels.
They've been very clever, haven't they?
Yeah.
We're always very, very lucky. So yeah, so that's the panel. So that's how you make it shorter.
Shorter,
You
yeah.
just line it up, move it along. So you start off with that, and then as soon as I leave a little bit there, just so that you know that when you line it up to the next one, then you can just finish off the scallop.
Okay.
So that's that one. And then as you can see on the tag, I've just included a few more there as well.
Oh, right. Okay. So you've used the same scallop one there, going from.
So I've made a longer one.
Yeah.
So I've just lined it up like so. And then I've just, or rather line it up there like that. So say for example about there, then I'll follow the scallop along like that.
Yeah. And I suppose because you've got the straight lines on your die cut, you can use that to line up with the lines on the plate, couldn't you?
Definitely. And then I've just created a smaller one there as well.
Okay.
And then so if I just create the lines, and then I can use the lovely rosy doodles.
Yes.
They're really pretty, and they work really well with this as well.
And they were the all-in-ones that we released last month.
Yes. Yeah, it's gone quick, hasn't it?
I know. I know. May already. 2nd of May.
Wow.
And talking of May, we have our open days coming up at the end of May. We have 2 days. We have Friday the 30th of May, item number 60207. That's £10 for a ticket for all day entry, and you will receive a complimentary hot drink on that one if you're interested in coming along for one day, which I'm going. Maybe you want to come on the Saturday. Maybe you work on a Friday and you want to come on the Saturday. 31st of May from 9 until 4. All of our events this year are being held at the Ditton Community Centre in Ditton, which is not far from Maidstone in Kent. Free parking, 2 fantastic days. The item number for the Saturday is 60208. And then we tried this out in November last year at our Christmas events. We've then attached a one-day workshop on the Sunday because many of our friends travel a fair distance. So you've got a choice. You can get Inky and Artie with Barbara Gray on the Sunday, and the item number for that is 60209. Or if you're into your parching and you want to spend the day with the lovely Linda Williams, then the item number for that is 60210. So you can only do one of them because they are all-day courses. But yeah, 2 fantastic days on that. Now, I know Linda's designed a brand new plate for the Sunday workshop. That's all I'm saying. And I know Barbara's got some new tricks up her sleeve for the Sunday workshops as well. So yeah, so if you're able to maybe make a weekend of it.
Yeah, I know
there's lots of hotels. There's lots of hotels nearby. If you've got caravans, there's caravan places, and it's a lovely part of Kent as well. There's a lot of history in Ditton and nearby Aylesford and places like that, and it's not far from like Leeds Castle. See, I always thought Leeds Castle
was in
Leeds, but it's not. It's in Kent. I don't know why they called it. I probably need to find out why they called it Leeds Castle. Yeah. There's obviously a reason for that. Anyway, I digress. So let's get back to Louise.
Okay, so I have the Thinking of You plate in place.
Yeah.
So I've just lined it up. So I'm going to create a nice little flowers here.
Okay, so you've got a nice little bouquet.
Yes, yeah, these are nice.
So there's 4 different plates in this collection, taken from Tina's original Rosy Doodles and Floral Doodles. And this is the second in the series of all-in-one plates. It first started with the Floral Swirls and Corners by Tina Cox, and Barb found some lovely artwork that Tina had created using a combination of different plates. And she said, you know what, these would be great if our friends at home could just actually replicate exactly what Tina has created. So that's where the idea of the all-in-one plates came into play.
And they've really been really popular, haven't they? Because
they have.
You know, sometimes you do struggle with composition, don't you?
Yeah, and I think we were talking about when we were doing this, putting this show together with the launch of the new Sentiments, that we needed obviously something to work around.
Yes.
We need to put something on centre, and we'd realised that we hadn't actually showcased Tina's Rosy Doodles all-in-one collection on Clarity Social TV. I did them up on Hobby Maker, but we'd never really looked at them on Clarity Social TV, had we? So we'll have a look at some artwork in the 2:00 show this afternoon, but we're going to let Louise continue with this piece of artwork here.
Okay, so now that let me just bring in some pins. You can maybe see.
We've established that when Louise is working with a smaller piece of artwork, obviously you need something behind it, and the black, the way in which the camera works, it takes the focus away. So we're now introducing a piece of coloured paper.
Yes, exactly. So I've just put a few little bits of the floral sprays here and here.
Yeah.
I've finished off the grid design around the panels, and I put the thank you in there.
Nice.
So go on a nice thank you present or something.
Yeah. And I suppose you've got all those different sentiments to play with, haven't you, really?
We have, yes.
You've got 6 different sort of main occasions.
Yeah, happy birthday, or just put happy.
Put happy.
Happy.
Put anniversary.
Anniversary, yeah. So, yes, so what I thought I'd do next is do a little bit of white work.
Okay.
So as you can see here, I've just, for the centres, the flowers, I've put a little bit of white work in there.
Okay.
I'm going to have to take the pink away.
We're coming closer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So I'll do a little bit of white work. So I'm just using the number 2. Just to, these are really nice, these little floral sprays with a really nice little chance to do a little bit of white work in them.
Okay, so Jane has very kindly Googled for me. Leeds Castle is named after its first owner, a Saxon lord named Led or Ledian, who built a wooden structure on the site in 857 AD. So there we go.
Wow.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane. Nice.
I've never been to Leeds Castle.
No, I really want to go. I went past it a couple of months ago.
They have some lovely events there, don't they? Sort of like concerts and stuff like that, outdoor concerts.
Yeah.
Obviously not in the castle, but
no, some of the castles, like for example Hever Castle, they do really lovely like a jousting celebration.
Yes.
And they have like little fake
I've been
jousting.
I can't remember whether it's Hever Castle I've been to. Because that's just up the road from here, isn't it?
Yes.
Hever Castle.
Yeah, I love going to Hever Castle. I love Tudor history, so I am a big fan of Hever Castle. Yeah. So once we have done our white work, so I did them in all the flower centres. So with large areas, I would go up and use
number 3, then number 4. Yeah.
Just to, and that might need a couple of layers. So once you've done that, you then get this, like so.
So I think that's lovely just in its own right without anything else, because you could put a lovely backing paper behind that, couldn't you?
Yeah, so when you have little scraps, if I bring us out a little bit.
Yeah.
I have a little box, and all my scraps, I use everything. So a lot of our designer cards, I just die cut the little scraps with the designer card. So I have, and that's one for every mood. One for every colour.
So you want to chill out and go nice and keep it cool.
Keep it cool,
See, now, so that brings out the blue that you've coloured in the scallop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so you got.
I think that's an Indian summer one, that one.
think this must be an Indian summer.
Wait, that's an Indian summer as
Yeah.
well. So now that makes the pink stand out more.
It does, yeah. So it's just showing with all the different colours. It's like, this one's nice.
Yeah. So you can use you can use your designer card behind it. You can use just your companion papers.
Yeah. So when I have a spare moment, because I like making tags and everything, and similarly, I'm just going to bring in.
He says, when I have a spare moment.
When I have a spare moment.
Can you just,
this was last year, not this year.
Can you just bring this box in, please, Louise? So this is where those tag dies really do come into play.
They do.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to zoom out on this. Okay.
I don't have enough time to do this at the moment because
look,
I've got things going on. But
look,
I know.
all of these are one size tags,
Yep.
and then you've got all of these, the larger ones,
and then some spare parchment, all
the
different coloured
parchment
as well. See, the green's quite nice. Okay, go on. Hold on. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I have a spare moment, and this is all, I've done all of so it's all ready to go. So
that's a really good idea.
So that's my little box of tags.
So thinking about with these tag dies, if maybe you're making stuff and you're selling it, and maybe you're doing sort of like craft fairs, so you could have a series of tags already die cut, and then you could put the panels in, for example, and then if someone comes up and say, "Oh, I want to buy this gift, and I want a tag, but I want it to say happy birthday, or I want it to say happy anniversary," then if you've got that plate with you, you can then personalize it with that various different occasion, couldn't you?
Because that's what I would do with this. For example, here you have the tag, and then if I bring in my panels and my sentiments, so I would have a little panel maybe at the top here.
Yeah.
Make it shorter, and then put a lovely little bit of a floral design here. But then you have all of the, for every occasion.
Yeah.
So
you can have that traced out as a complete one.
Yeah.
To show your customer and say, right, what would you like it to say?
Exactly. What would you like me to say? Congratulations, happy birthday, and then you've got all of the lovely. They're smaller, they still fit in there really nicely.
That'd be great for your personalization then. If you're making gifts or something, or you're doing your parchment craft.
Yeah, fits at the bottom. Hope you have the best day. I'm reading it back to front.
Reading it back to front.
And upside down.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I usually do with my tags.
Super.
They're always very useful to have, and they're good for your mini makes as well. You can practice techniques on these. As well.
And I mean,
that's what I tend to do.
It wasn't last year. I think it was the year before. We were looking at some of the multi-needle tools in Groovi Tuesday, and lovely Glynis did some projects with the tags because they were bite-sized pieces.
Yes.
And if you go to the claritymattersblog.com and go back, I'm sure Jane will be able to talk about. But we did a series of them, and there was one a week.
Multi-needle tools,
with the multi-needle tools. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
And these tag dies were perfect vehicle to do that because they weren't too big, they weren't too small, and they really showcased what you could do with some of the multi-needle tools. I think it was from volume 1 and volume 2.
Yeah, I saw them outside actually yesterday. Yeah,
so they're great for that. And whatever plates you've got design-wise, you can use those. And then now that you've got all these different occasions and sentiments, really, for me, having it all on what this was Barb's idea, to put it all on one plate and to have it landscape as well. Because as Barb said, if we've done it portrait and you had happy birthday up here and then Merry Christmas here, you're leaning over your work, aren't you? Sort of you're stretching. Whereas by having it on a landscape basis, you're not reaching too far. So it feels a lot more comfortable whilst you're working with it.
Definitely, yeah. Okay, so going back to the project. So now we have our white work.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll do a little bit of colouring.
Okay.
There's a green.
So you're using your Perga colour pens.
Yeah, Perga colours.
The item number for your Perga colour pens is 70060. It is a tin of, let's bring that in close, of 30 double-ended water-based pens. Now, these are not just for your parchment craft, they're also for your everyday crafting, your stamping, colouring in, your pre-printed colouring in as well.
And they have 2 ends,
And
which
they
is very
do,
helpful.
yes.
So if you wanted to really get into finer details like this one, you can use the smaller nib.
And you're doing this on the back of the artwork, aren't you, on this occasion?
I am, yes. I mean, the good thing about the pens is that you can use a lovely painting on parchment technique on your front of your parchment. And that's when these really, you know, you put them on a palette and almost treat them as like a watercolor.
Yeah.
So I'll do a pink rose over here. That's because I like to have a little colour. That's my colouring fix for the day. So yeah, so I would use the Perga colours on these bits.
Yeah.
And then I also use the blue in the scallop. So I show you that you can really get into the good thing about the Perga colours is the ink just comes out so effortlessly. You don't even have to.
You're not applying pressure, are you?
No.
It's what I used to call tickling the parchment.
Exactly. That's all you have to do with this. You just tickle the parchment. There we go. So then in the panel as well.
Yeah.
Here, I've just used a pink Perga liner.
Okay.
Which is what I'll show you as well. And then I thought we'd get on to a little bit of grid work.
Okay.
We all like grid work.
Now, when Louise joined us a couple of months back, we'd agreed that sort of obviously Louise would sort of do Groovi Tuesday. We'd then be looking at doing 1, 2, 3 online courses, and then Louise said, "Oh, that means I've got to move away from my favourite colours, which are pinks and purples and blues." And she had started to go down that road of steering away from the pinks, purples, and blues. But it looks as if it's gone into default default mode. So that's the Dorso oil you're using there.
Yes, with my blending pen.
Super, yeah.
So just very, very gently tickling the parchment and I've just used it like just a Perga liner, the pink one.
And that was the B pencils. In the Perga liner pencils, which is item number 70063, you get a series of wax-based and water-based pencils. So the wax-based have a white writing on them, so they're blendable when you're using it with Dorso oil.
Yes. So when you've finished, so that will be that's with the Perga liners.
Yeah.
And that's with the Perga colours.
Right. Okay.
Put that back in my tool caddy. Okay. So when we're done, we have a nice
put that
finish one.
There, Lou.
Oh
Sorry.
yeah. That's all right.
Okay.
Okay. How better?
That's it.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it really doesn't like that.
It doesn't. It's only because you're working on a small piece. So
exactly.
There we go.
Wonderful. So we've done our colouring. So
Yeah.
now I thought we'd focus a little bit on the grid work.
So really, these panels are not just for your sentiments, and they're great for adding design to as well, then, aren't they?
Yeah. So we can use sentiments, but also they are perfect, like you say, to just on a tag or anywhere really, little small mini make, because you can make these square. They don't have to be rectangle.
Yeah.
Which is what we're focused on in the 2 p.m. show, because I've made them larger.
Okay.
So maybe I should I do it on the pink? Do you think that's
if you better? Can see it through the pink? Can you see it? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
I can see it.
Perfect.
So that make life easier for people to see. So I thought I've done one already just to line it up.
And so you're using the A5 square diagonal grid. And when we say it's a grid, it's if you're new to Groovi and parchment craft, Then these plates that Louise is looking at is using here, we send these off to be precision drilled, and so therefore they've got a hole that goes all the way through, so they can be used for perforating, they can be used for embossing. And I know this sounds really crazy, but we pay per hole.
Wow.
Yeah. So the more holes on a plate, obviously, the more it costs us. But they have so many different uses, these plates.
Oh, they really do, yeah. I love my grid plates.
So this is where Louise has to go quiet because she's now counting to create a pattern. So if you like the look of this, and you want the straight basic bold grid, the item number for that is 40202. Now on the website, you'll also find a guide to grid work, a guide to grid work by Linda Williams. And I'm sure Jane could pop a link up. It comes with 2 little mini grids, or you can buy it separately. And it shows you the various different patterns that you can create using a basic grid.
There are some really lovely patterns in there as well. So I've kind of separated the heart by little 4 dots.
Yeah.
So when we're going underneath, we're leaving 2 here.
Should we come in super close?
Super zoom.
Super zoom.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay. So we've done our little box.
Yeah.
And then we're going to leave 2 dots here.
Okay.
So we've got our little 2 dots here.
Yeah.
And then we're going up diagonally by 2. So like that.
Right.
Either side. Kind of like making a V.
Yeah.
Then we're going to come down. So it looks a bit like the start of a triangle.
Yeah.
Down both sides.
Yeah.
And then coming into the middle again, diagonally. So we've got 5 dots there.
Uh-huh.
Diagonally.
See, I thought you had used a diagonal grid when you did this.
Yeah, so it's the good thing about using straight grids is you can make them look diagonal. And then we've got our 4 dots again. And then start off with our 2 dots.
Yeah.
And then coming up into the and down into the triangle. Either side. And the really lovely thing is if you turned it over and you perforated on the front, then and cut it out, that would look really lovely as well.
Oh yeah.
So there we go. So that's that pattern.
No, I like that.
Yeah.
And that could go in any direction, couldn't it, really?
Oh, definitely, yeah. You wouldn't have to do that. You could just...
You could have it so it looks like arrows going to the left or arrows going to the right, or heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
But because of the direction you've done it, they look like hearts, don't they?
Make a nice look. So that would be going down, for example, a grid pattern. And then that would be your corner, and then you'd bring it over. So that would look really nice, having that as like a little border.
Yeah.
So that's that panel. And then what I have done with the other panel is I've literally just turned it diagonally.
Right.
Like this. So I start off in the middle because it doesn't really matter where you start.
Yeah.
And I'll just do a line of dots across.
So I know there wasn't a specific, you just turned it at an angle.
I have, yes. So it's more, it will look more diagonal, which will make it look like a diagonal grid.
Okay.
So I've done my one line. So what I'm aiming for is to create a box so that you can perforate 2 holes in the middle and then cut out a little cross.
Okay.
Like we've done here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So then once you have your pattern starting, all you've got to do is just do your lines. So that's your first row.
Yeah.
And then you would just bring up the lines like this. And then make sure that you've got your box, and then close the...
Oh, I see. So you've got 4 empty holes
Yes.
in the middle of those panels.
Yes. So
Okay.
then, as long as you've got the 4 dots in the middle, you know that you're doing the pattern right. And then once you see the box form, then you can just bring the dots along. Oops, sorry. Okay.
Quite clever, isn't it, really?
It's amazing what you can create with just turning the parchment around, really.
Yeah.
It gives you a completely different look. So then you can bring it, and it is really easy once you've got the box forming, because you just bring the lines downwards like that and across.
Yeah.
So you're not, it's an easy grid pattern to do because you just follow the line of the dots once you've got the first box appear.
And I understand that why you started sort of like in the middle area, so you can work around it either side.
Yes. So just...
It's like a lovely trellis, which works beautifully, not only with the rosy doodle flowers, but it's the panels that's creating this particular element, isn't it?
Yeah, and the panels are great for just creating little, and you've also got, don't forget, you've also got that nice little, that's a really lovely fine, you could create really
Pattern
lovely
around the outside, yeah, on that one.
borders and grid pattern with that one. Looks really nice. So there are, like on the panels, there's just so many lovely little borders around the panels. So it's really created some nice uses. So they're very versatile. You don't have to just use the panels and the bit that goes around the panels. You can mix it up, use that as a border, or use that as a line around a sentiment. There's so many uses for these. I can see I can be bringing my A4 plate around with me a lot.
Yeah.
I might include it in my Groovi Tuesday project, actually.
That'd be handy.
Yeah,
because you're starting a new one, aren't you, in a couple of weeks on Groovi Tuesday?
Yeah, so we've got our last week this week, and then we start afresh the following Tuesday.
Yes. So maybe you're tuning in and you're thinking, what's Groovi Tuesday? Every Tuesday at 10 a.m. live on our Clarity Crafts Facebook and YouTube page, and also the Pergamano Facebook and YouTube page. Louise spends an hour with you at 10 o'clock. If you can't tune in live, then all of them are available to go back and watch via those channels. And you've been using Barb's lovely Japanese tile plates, haven't you?
I have, yes. I'm going to be using them again for the following project, just because I like them so much. And, you know, because they're just so versatile with any kind of make. You can make them look Japanesey, but also you can make them look really beautiful and delicate. So they have many, many uses. So I'm going to put my Groovi tabs back on my tool holder. There we go, just like that. Put that actually back in the tool. So now we have our grid here.
Yeah.
And we have our grid here.
Okay.
So now in my original, there we go. In my original tag, I haven't cut out the middle part.
Okay.
But I might just do it in this one, just to show you what it would look like cut out.
Yeah.
Because we can do a cross. I'll do a little couple of crosses maybe if I've got, well, I haven't got enough time.
Time really, really does disappear, doesn't it? When you get in that groove, it really does get in the way.
It goes way too quickly. But I just want to show you.
Come in on the third camera.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be over towards me. That's it.
My hand was in the way, that's why. Let me line it up again.
So you're now on the front of the parchment.
I am.
And so you're infilling the space on the inside of that dotted heart you've created.
Yes. So I think it looks quite nice perforated, to be fair. If I go back onto the let's take this away.
Okay, let's go super zoom on this one. There we go.
Yeah, so it looks nice perforated.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Won't be able to get away with another hole there, but maybe not. So I just thought I'll bring in my Pico foam. Is this gonna have a little moment? Is it? And then, so yeah, it looks really lovely perforated, but you can cut it out as well.
Okay.
Bring in my trusty
Cutters.
squidgers. Yeah. I'll do the outside of the heart first. On that side.
It's amazing to watch this happen.
I know. Watches it just appear.
Yeah. So if you haven't got to your Pico cutting at this stage, and you're coming to the Clarity Open Days at the end of the month, then you could spend some time with the lovely Glynis, who will be running a snip clinic.
Yes.
And you'll be able to try using the perga cutters, the ring lock scissors, and also the exclusive scissors as well.
Yeah, so the inside, you can cut the inside out of the heart.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can, I'll probably be able to get some more holes in this one. Have I got enough time to do some holes in this one?
Yeah, go on. I'm sure I find that won't mind.
I'm going to line it up again. Shall I go on to the number 3 again?
Yeah.
Move over here. Is that better? There we go.
Yeah.
So let me.
It's important to take the time to do the lining up, isn't it? Because it can really make a difference. If you're just a little bit squiffy, or it can really make a difference when you're mixing up, you're embossing and you're perforating.
There we go. So I got more holes in that time. So I thought, I was doing it quickly, and then there we go. So, where are we now? There we go. All right. So I'll just work my way around.
Oh, I see the difference. Yeah. So on the
There's
first
more holes
one,
in this one.
Yeah.
I didn't put enough holes in the first one.
Because Louise was panicking because she's thinking, I'm going to run out of time.
I was thinking, I'm going to run out of time. So yeah, it shows you that you just need to take the time to think. Think, Gromit. And don't go off. Oh, sorry. Don't go off kilter. There we go. There we go. That's better. There we are.
Ah,
That's
yes.
more like it.
I like the top one as well.
Yeah.
I think the top one works.
Yeah, they both look okay.
It just gives a different look, doesn't it?
It does.
And we're obviously super zoomed in for our
Yeah.
friends at home to see. But I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Sort of.
And you could also cut out this
The
part
inner
as
panels.
well.
Yeah.
So that would look really nice as well. So then obviously with this one is just the 4
The cross on there.
And the little cross. So then ta-da.
There we go. Onto a piece of, you've used companion paper on that one.
I have. Yeah.
And because you've got the die, the die cuts out the parchment and the paper.
It does.
You can cut
yes.
it more like you can cut the parchment, the paper, and the parchment and the card at the same time as well. So it would just be one pass through the machine.
Yes.
If you're going for a specific background, but if you've already got a stash like Louise has of her
ready to go
tags ready to go, then you can then obviously just jump in and look at those in detail. So we just have a bit of a recap on what we've been bringing you today. So brand new Occasion Sentiments and Panels A4 and A5 square Groovi plate duo, item number 42482. You have a £5 saving, bringing that down to £29.98. Then also on the show were let me just find that one, the plate if you want it on its own. Oh, okay, that one. No, the Rosie Doodles. I was trying to multitask, that didn't work. The Rosie Doodle collection, which we'll have a look at some lovely artwork during the 2 o'clock show. Item number for that 42477. That £9.99 saving means you're going to get the parchment for free. Then if I bring up this lovely die that Louise has been sharing with us. So as I say, we've currently got our backed by popular demand fresh cut dies, where the dies are £3 on the vast majority on the website. And this has a coordinating Groovi plate. So the item number on that is 20100. You've got £16, £23 saving, bringing the price down to £16.75. Then always do one or more of the lovely tool holders for either the Clarity stamp pens or the Pergamano tools. Item number for that 31797. And then this afternoon, Louise is going to be showing us what to do with the Pergamano metallic gel pens. So you may want to shop ahead on that if you haven't got those already. Item number 70449. Okay.
Nice selection of colours as well.
It is, yeah. You've got that lovely pink, purple, blue, green, gold, silver, and copper or bronze. Beautiful pens on those. So Louise will be putting those through their paces during the 2 o'clock show. I had a question from the lovely Jane via the chat. If you are coming to any of the workshops on the Sunday, we will send out an email nearer the time. I mean, we provide everything for you to do the workshops. When it comes to the Groovi, if there's any picot cutting involved, you may want to bring your own snips or scissors, whichever it is that you prefer. They sort of tone into your hand, don't they? Which is really weird because they're all the same. But we will send out an email to all the people coming on the workshops, whether you're doing the inky and arty one with Barbara, or whether you are doing the parchment one with Linda. But we provide everything. So you just turn up and enjoy. But as I say, we will email near the time if you think, oh, you know what, maybe if you have got that because we haven't got enough of something, then we will let you know nearer the time on that. Thank you, as always, to the lovely Jane for helping us. Jane will be back with us at 2 o'clock this afternoon as well. Louise is going to have a bit of a tidy up, but I just wanted to have a quick recap on, where's it gone? We've moved it. There we go. That fresh cut. So that runs from now until midnight on Tuesday. So if you're looking, maybe you missed out on the last one that we brought to you over the Easter period, then now would be that perfect opportunity to take advantage of it again. So thank you for your company as well, and obviously lovely Louise.
Thank you, Paul.
And the design team for the artwork, as always. And this afternoon we'll have a look at some more artwork from Tina's Rosie Doodles all-in-ones.
Yes. Definitely.
Enjoy the rest of your morning, and hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you at 2 o'clock today.